Perfect. Perfect.
Hello guys, and welcome to the first ever detailed MK mobile character review. I'm extremely excited to have Kombat Kup Sonya as the first character to step in, because in my opinion she's one of the very best gold cards in the game, and to be honest, not only gold cards but one of the very best cards in general in the game. And I'm very excited as well that I am going to put that belief of mine to the test, starting right now. And before we start with the review guys, please mind the date of the video when doing your comparison, as new characters may have arrived by then and the stats or the abilities may have changed, so please mind the date of the video. And without any further ado, let's start evaluating Kombat Kup Sonya, with the first thing that we're going to evaluate is her stats. Kombat Kup Sonya guys has one of the best stats for a gold character in the game. She has 49,991 attack, which ranks her at number 6 out of 72 gold characters and number 23 out of 108 characters in the game, and in general gives her 4.2 points for attack out of 6 of course. When it comes to health, she has 112,608, which is the second highest for a gold character and the 15th highest overall. When it comes to points allocated, I'm giving her 4.9. The toughness guys, the toughness is not that great. She has 37,800, which is the 9th highest when it comes to gold characters and the 27th highest overall, and the points here are 3.1. The recovery 41,580. She ranks 3rd in gold characters and 19th overall, for a total of 2.7 points here out of 4. The power generation, she has 1.2, or in other words 120% power generation, which equals 5 points out of 7 possible. In general, Kombat Kup Sonya total is 19.9, almost 20 points out of 25 possible. I would say a pretty good job. So let's proceed with the special attacks. Special 1 of Sonya is called Arc Kick. It can be definitely blocked. The opponent can block the entire special 1. So no parts of the special is unblockable whatsoever. So Sonya doesn't get any points for special 1 being unblockable. Of course, another drawback of her special 1 is that it doesn't have any buff or debuff. There's nothing, so 0 points when it comes to buffs and debuffs of her specials. Another good thing, however, when it comes to her special 1 is that it can be cast from anywhere. Of course, here I'm excluding the full distance, when one character is one end of the screen and the other character is all the way to the other end of the screen. This situation happens so rarely that I'm not going to put it in the evaluation. So from mid-range, her special attack always hits. So most of the time, you shouldn't be scared to use her special 1, regardless of the distance. Of course, her special 1 is lethal. It can kill the opponent, as you can currently see, and her special attack consists of 2 mini attacks. So in general, when it comes to evaluating a character based on how many mini attacks he has in his special attack, I decided to remove 0.1 point after the first mini attack. So if the character has 2 mini attacks in his special, in other words the special consists of 2 hits, he's going to get 0.9 points. If he has only 1 hit, as for example Liu Kang, classic Liu Kang, special 2, then he get the full point. When it comes to damage, her special 1 has minimum damage, has 16,497 damage, which is not that great. She ranks 13 out of 72 gold cards and 32 out of 108 cards in total. Her maximum damage is 32,994, which ranks 19 out of 72 in the Gold League and 33 out of 108 overall. In general, her special 1 is not that great. Her special 2 is called Red Card. Again, it is not unblockable. No part of it is unblockable. It can be completely blocked, so she gets 0 points when it comes to her special attack being unblockable. When it comes to buff and debuff, she has Fear, which is probably the worst debuff in the game, so she doesn't get a lot of points there as well. Her special attack can be cast again from anywhere, but we have one difference. As you can see, her second hit misses if cast from mid-range. So considering that her special 2 consists of 4 hits, I'm deducting 0.5 points from the total. And of course her special 2 is lethal again. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage is 44,541, which is the 5th best out of 72 gold characters and the 23rd best out of 108 characters. The max damage is 85,783, which is the 8th highest in the Gold League and the 29th overall. The special attack, in general, the special 2 is good, however with all the drawbacks that we already listed. And we go to X-Ray. The good thing about the X-Ray is that it has shield. Basically it means that once you cast X-Ray, the shield is applied to every single character in the team. The damage is 100,631, which is the 12th highest in gold and 37th overall, and again it can be cast from mid-range, which is perfect. In general, she almost gets the total amount of points when it comes to X-Ray. Now, guys, we just reached the passive. The passive is the bread and butter of Kombat Kup Sonya. In my opinion, one of the best passives in the game. What the passive does is that it removes one of the characters from the game until all other characters are dead. And not only that, but she also power drains that character. So when he finally attacks him back, he has no power. This is an amazing ability. And on top of that, Kombat Kup Sonya and all other Kombat Kup characters are immune to stun. Another very useful addition to her passive. I wouldn't hesitate here. I gave total amount of points 20 points for Kombat Kup Sonya passive. And we came to classes. This is very self-explanatory, probably the easiest thing that we can evaluate. Kombat Kup Sonya is only Spec Ops, which basically means that she gets only 1 point out of 6. When it comes to tagging attack, guys, she doesn't have tagging attack, so she doesn't get any points there. We are at the basic attacks. Here I'm evaluating 2 things. First one is how fast she is with her basic attacks, and the second one is how well she can chain her basic attack combination. When it comes to speed, Kombat Kup Sonya is a pretty fast character. I wouldn't hesitate here and I would give 4 points for her speed. As you can see, she's really fast when it comes to hitting the opponents. However, when it comes to chaining the abilities, she suffers a little bit because 2 reasons. The first reason is that when the opponent is blocking, she doesn't push him away, which always opens the opportunity for the opponent to counter attack, to hit you to get some special attack and to power drain you, or even worse, perform special 2 on you, and you got the idea. And the other thing is that she actually, when she doesn't perform combo ender, even if the opponent is not blocking, again she might not push the opponent back, which again can lead to the same circumstance, the opponent hitting you back, gaining power and using that power on you. So in general, when it comes to chaining her basic attack combinations, I give her 3 points, which adds up to a total of 7 points out of 10 when it comes to basic attacks. And we reached the last 3 points that are obtainable. These are my totally subjective 3 points which I can give to the character, and I'm going to give Kombat Kup Sonya the full 3 points. To be honest, she's an amazing character, very useful, really very useful. I'm going to talk about it in the gameplay review that's coming in the next few seconds, so stay tuned. However, the only thing I dislike about her, there's only one thing I hate, and this is her smile. Just look at it, guys. This is really, really creepy. Her smile just scares the shit out of me. It is just awful. I cannot really say anything. It's awful. But apart from that, Kombat Kup Sonya is a great character. Full 3 points from me. And the total, guys, the total verdict, the final verdict will be 69.4 out of 100, which is so close to 17 being a great character. I would say she's a great character without hesitating, because she suffers mainly because her special 1 is not that good, but who cares, I don't really use it, and her special 2 has a very poor debuff, which is fear. Outside of it, she has amazing stats, amazing passive. So use her, guys. I am going to give you detailed instructions how to play with her in the next couple of minutes, so stay tuned. And we will be starting the gameplay review with something simple, and that is which character she's good against and which characters she's bad against. So let's start with the characters that she counters. The first one is Assassin Jade, simply because you can use Kombat Kup Sonya to tag in and tag out Assassin Jade until the rest of the battle. Not only that, but Assassin Jade will have no power when she finally comes back, and most of the situations she's going to be facing 3 versus 1 scenario, so she's going to die. The same applies to MK11 Jade. If she is so annoying, everybody knows that she's very annoying, just use Kombat Kup Sonya, tag in, and leave her out until everybody else in the team is dead. In other words, Kombat Sonya is an amazing tool to deal with Jade. Very good character. Of course, she's also very good versus Shao Kahn, who has a lot of power, and you know that Shao Kahn is probably useless without power, so just again tag in, tag him out, and then when he comes back with 0 power, he'll be next to useless. Punk Cassie, another character that relies a lot of tagging in and tagging out, and every time when she tags in, she actually steals 1 bar of power from the entire team. Use Kombat Kup Sonya passive on her, guys, so that she doesn't really tag in again. Ravenous Melina, again, she's, I wouldn't say that Kombat Kup Sonya counters Ravenous Melina, but she's definitely good against her because she's immune to stun, so when Ravenous Melina tags in, she cannot stun you, and that's always good. When it comes to characters that Kombat Kup Sonya doesn't like, let's say that way, the first one should be MK11 Sub-Zero or Warlock Quan Chi or Spec Ops Scorpion. You don't want to tag those characters out, because most of the time they're going to stay tagged out and wait until you try to finish a character so that they can intervene and save, especially Spec Ops Scorpion. It is never a good idea to tag him out and use her passive on him. Never. So, down. And the next card, you have to be very careful, guys, that is Dark Raiden, because if you use her passive on Dark Raiden, not only you're going to help him, you're going to tag him out, but you're not going to power drain him. Instead, you're going to give him an X-ray. So please be careful with Dark Raiden and Kombat Kup Sonya. When it comes to gameplay, guys, you never want to put Kombat Kup Sonya on the first spot in the team, otherwise you never want her to be an opener. She is not an opener for the simple fact that once she is an opener, she cannot immediately tag in and force out an opponent. You cannot really use her passive for the next 2 or 3 minutes, and you don't want to do that. On top of that, her special one is really not that great, so Devastator is not useful on her in general. So please guys, don't put her on spot 1. When it comes to good teams with Sonya, of course, always you have to put her in team with Kombat Kup Johnny, for the reason that Johnny actually boosts her stats and make her much stronger. So a possible team should be Demolition Sonya, Kombat Kup Johnny and Kombat Kup Sonya. Demolition Sonya and Kombat Kup Johnny boost the stats of Kombat Kup Sonya and she becomes insanely powerful. The next team is Balanced Kenshi, Kombat Kup Sonya and Kombat Kup Johnny. The same reason, the only difference is that Balanced Kenshi is a better opener than Sonya and in general provides 1 bar of power instead of 30% attack as Demolition Sonya does. Another team, possible team with her, it's Cover Up Scassi plus Kombat Kup Johnny plus Kombat Kup Sonya. Again, you get the idea. Most of the time I prefer to have 2 characters that boost Kombat Kup Sonya stats, so in the end she's totally unstoppable. And by the way guys, if you're in a mood for trolling, I have another very interesting team for you, which is actually the embodiment of troll team, and it consists of Dark Empress Kitana, Kombat Kup Sonya and Kobujutsu Tanya. I believe you got the idea of this team. All those girls have fear, which is the worst debuff, but in the same times, actually, I have to admit that it is quite fun to play with it. When it comes to gear guys, I don't really like Sonya's armor military vest. I believe the 20% self-heal of after special attack 3 or X-ray is not that great, for the sole reason that you don't really do a lot of X-rays during battles. So I would advise to use Shao Kahn's helmet instead in the armor slot. When it comes to weapon, please guys put Rat Hammer on her. She becomes crazy with Rat Hammer. Her special 2 almost one-shots everybody. And of course, every time when you're building a team where you have one carry character, like in our case Kombat Kup Sonya, and 2 support characters that are there to boost her stats and make her almost invincible, use Shang Tsung Stone. When it comes to rings, amulets, accessories, use Shang Tsung Stone guys. It is an amazing item, and Kombat Kup Sonya totally destroys the enemy team if you put it on her. So once again, let's recap the items: Rat Hammer, Shao Kahn's helmet and Shang Tsung Stone. So we did it guys, our first detailed character review. In this episode, starring Kombat Kup Sonya, she scored 69.4 points out of 100. As I already mentioned, it is almost impossible for a character to score over 80, totally impossible for a character to score over 90, for the sole reason that if a character, let's say perfect, but he doesn't have good special one and he belongs only to one class, there you go, you have minus 10 points. So in general, extremely difficult to score over 80. So every character that is over 70 or close to 70 is considered a great character, and I do believe that Sonya, Kombat Kup Sonya, is an amazing character. So every time when you see her in the store guys, buy her, you won't regret it. Okay guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Until then, take care guys.
Perfect.